Friends, if you want to watch super hit movie Canary Black in English, then you must like this video. If you're visiting our channel for the first time, don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Friends, in today's video, the movie we're going to talk about is called Canary Black. We will talk about what this movie is and where you can watch all the interesting facts about this movie in today's video. I am going to tell you. I am also going to give you all the information on which platform or on which satellite channel you will get to watch this movie. Also, we will talk in detail about the technical department, music department, pre-production, filming, post-production, budget, box office collection of this film. We will also talk about the story of this film. And I will also give you a small review of the story of this film. Apart from this, we will discuss about the facts of this film's storyline, star cast actors' performance in the film, and which character has played which role. That's why I request you friends to watch this video till the end. So let's start the video. Canary Black is a 2024 action thriller spy film directed by Pierre Morland, written by Matthew Kennedy. The film stars Kate Beckinsale as a CIA agent on the run. Plot: Avery Graves is a CIA agent who steals a drive from a building in Tokyo. Then she comes home to the third anniversary with her husband David. Later she meets Jarvis, her boss at the CIA. They speak of Kenji, who is using a business facade to ship arms to terrorists. She comes home to find it trashed and her husband missing. A phone on the table says gets the Canary Black file by midnight and mentions a detainee number, or husband dies. She asks for proof of life and is able to speak with her husband. A hacker friend helps Avery locate the last call to the phone and gives her the address. Then she goes to work and searches for the detainee number, Laszlo Stoica. She goes to the address, but receives a call saying she has stepped on a pressure-sensitive bomb. She opens the floor and disarms the bomb. Agent Maxfield tells Avery about detainee and linked to Kali, who got his hands on a top-secret file, whose scope is deadly. She pulls the detainee's teeth and picks a fight with Agent Maxfield. She escapes the facility, but is now on the wanted list. Evans tells Jarvis that Canary Black is set a top-secret master list of blackmail material for all government personnel. Avery calls Jarvis from his own home and tells him her husband has been kidnapped. Soon thereafter, CIA storms Jarvis's place. Avery gets a video call of her husband tied and beaten. It's now 8 p.m., only 4 hours remaining. She meets with Jarvis in his car but is suddenly captured by CIA. Jarvis had trapped her. As the car is driving away with her, another car with masked men shoots at them. Her car is toppled, but she manages to escape. A masked man attacks, but she stabs him with his own knife. It is her neighbor Nicholas, but he dies before she can get anything out of him. Evans meets with Breznov and they form a partnership. Avery checks into a hotel under an assumed name with guns and arms. She climbs out and enters Evans's room. She puts a mute mask on Evans and asks him for his account password. But the password doesn't work because the account is frozen and can be accessed only with computers inside PLK Technologies. She calls her hacker friend and asks for a CIA server secure access. The hacker friend gets a drone and Avery rides it into PLK Technologies. Logs into server with password and copies Canary Black files. She escapes the building on the same drone. They finally see what is on Canary Black. It's not a blackmail list, but a virus that causes computer systems to crash. A doomsday virus for each country. Avery texts Jarvis to track her phone and goes to answers the phone about her kidnapped husband a bit too late, but a man tasers and kidnaps her. Breznov transmits a video to the Global Unification Summit about his access to Canary Black, the geo-targeted computer virus, which can end internet usage and create a stock market crash, and requests a ransom of 1% of GDP of every country, roughly $1 trillion. As an example, he targets Singapore, cutting off all power. Jarvis tracks the phone and locates the hideout, but is captured by Breznov, who kills him. His watch, which contains a tracking device, is used by the CIA to find his body. As Avery is hanging on chains, her husband David is shot. But surprisingly, David grabs a knife and kills everyone around him. It turns out that David told Breznov about Canary Black. David reveals that he is Kali. Ransom money slowly starts pouring in, but David kills the power to transmit the virus. Avery kills Breznov and is able to stop the virus from uploading completely. Avery returns the ring to David, says their marriage is beyond fixing. CIA arrives. David escapes, but Avery is captured. While she is in custody, Elizabeth Mills arrives and offers Avery a job at MC6 instead of prison, a new organization that takes on critical missions on the highest scale of threat. As Avery is walking outside, she sees her wedding ring on a handrail, indicating that her husband is still alive. Cast Kate Beckinsale as Avery Graves, Rupert Friend as David Brooks, Ray Stevenson as Jarvis Headland, Saffron Burrows as Elizabeth Mills, Ben Miles as DCIA Nathan Evans, Goran Kostic as Konrad Breznov, Masayoshi Haneda as Kenji Nakajima, Michael Brandon, the President of the United States, Charles Nishikawa as Japanese Prime Minister. Production Canary Black was first introduced at the 2022 Cannes Film Market as a spy thriller directed by Pierre Morel, written by Matthew Kennedy, and starring Kate Beckinsale. At the American Film Market later that year, the first images of the production were released as Anton put the film up for sale. Filming began in Croatia in October 2022 and continued through January 2023. Filming took place primarily in Zagreb, where shooting interrupted service for several trams in Zagreb to control the environment of the outdoor action sequences, which included Beckinsale flying over the city from a drone and hanging from rooftops. 6. Filming in Zagreb utilized the Dinamo Zagreb Stadion Maksimir as a movie set, and the city of Rovinj doubled for Tokyo. Release Canary Black was released on Prime Video on October 24, 2024. Plot: Avery Graves, a CIA operative, is blackmailed by terrorists into betraying her own country to save her kidnapped husband. Cut off from her team, she turns to her underworld contacts to survive. Review: I've been looking forward to Canary Black as I love Kate Beckinsale, especially in action roles, but it's also directed by Pierre Morel. Taken. I knew the action would at least be impressive, and it didn't disappoint. We get fight scenes, shootouts, and an awesome car chase through a city. In Canary Black, Beckinsale plays Avery Graves, who works for the CIA, but when her husband is kidnapped, she has to go rogue and find a file or he will be killed. It feels like there are genuine stakes in this movie, with not only Avery's husband facing death, but the whole world is in danger if the bad guys get the MacGuffin. It is as you'd expect, generic stuff, and doesn't do anything new, but it's still entertaining due to its decent pacing and brisk runtime. This is also Ray Stevenson's final role, and reminds us that he was taken far too soon, as he just elevated anything he was in. He was the best thing about Ahsoka, and will be sorely missed. I like how Avery is far from indestructible, and really goes through the ringer emotionally and physically, where she doesn't know who she can trust anymore. It's also not afraid to show its R rating with some surprisingly brutal moments. The script doesn't have much you'll think about after viewing, and I doubt anyone will be quoting it 5 years from now. Canary Black, of course, is very open for a potential franchise, and if we get future entries, then I'll be here for it, as this delivered what I'd expected from it. I was prepared for certain story elements, but there were a few surprises to keep things interesting. Overall, Canary Black may not set the world on fire, but for a streaming movie, it has some decent action set pieces, with the added bonus of Kate Beckinsale and Ray Stevenson. You could do worse than watching this on a Saturday night after a few beers. Plot: a top CIA operative, Avery Graves, is blackmailed by terrorists into betraying her own country to save her kidnapped husband. Cut off from her team, she turns to her underworld contacts to help locate the coveted intelligence that the kidnappers want. As she is betrayed at every turn, Avery finds herself in a deadly race to deliver a ransom that could trigger a global crisis. Review: 30 years ago, mediocre action movies were populated with mid-level or over-the-hill action stars and had their release relegated to video stores. These same movies were commonly found at your local Redbox a decade ago. Today, the glut of streaming services constantly needs new fodder to entice audiences to choose them over the competition, which means projects that otherwise would not be able to land top talent are now showcases for movie stars slumming it for a paycheck. Canary Black boasts a director and star with experience making action movies, starring in a film that, on the surface, looks like it could be good. Dropped onto Prime Video with no fanfare, Canary Black is an instantly forgettable replication of countless other action movies that offers nothing to distinguish itself from every other action movie out there. Canary Black opens with Agent Avery Graves, donned in a skin-tight catsuit and blonde wig reminiscent of Charlize Theron's hairstyle in Atomic Blonde. Graves infiltrates a Tokyo skyscraper, where she takes out a bevy of thugs while retrieving a flash drive. The entire sequence is filmed in a way that uses Kate Beckinsale's experience leading films like Underworld as she kicks and shoots her way through a video game-esque complex of hallways and staircases. It is a competently shot action scene that does not build much energy or excitement as the bodies drop and the blood pools. From there, Graves heads back home to Croatia, a setting not commonly used for top-tier spy home bases. Graves reunites with her husband, David, Rupert friend, just in time to celebrate their anniversary. David is philanthropic and the opposite of Avery in many ways. Avery heads to work, where she is greeted by her British boss, Jarvis Headland, Ray Stevenson, who is American, even though the actor was British. Yeah, this is that kind of movie. Speaking in code, Graves and Headland head to their secure inner office, which is a clandestine CIA base. The retrieved device is part of a broader mission to track a terrorist known as Kali, who appears to be escalating. As Avery ponders her next move, David is kidnapped by terrorists who blackmail her into accessing a file known as Canary Black, in exchange for her husband's life. Avery barely thinks twice before she does as she is told and tries to find the file, the setting of the film's main plot, which sends her on task after task to find the Canary Black file while Jarvis has to hunt her down. Along the way, director Nathan Evans, Ben Miles, and Agent Maxfield, Jazz Hutchins, join the search as they know the close relationship between Avery and Jarvis has likely compromised his objectivity. What starts out like a play on a Mission Impossible plot gradually turns into a full-blown, over-the-top James Bond-style villain story. I never expected this movie to be grounded or feature any semblance of realistic espionage action. Still, the narrative meanders between generic double-life tropes as Avery tries to balance her work and professional worlds with an apocalyptic weapon controlled by a turtleneck-clad villain wearing a Spirit Halloween mask as he asks for Dr. Evil-level ransoms from a global summit. Yeah, Canary Black shares more in common with the plot of Austin Powers than any serious spy movie. By the time the third act twist comes around, you will already be so baffled by the decisions made in this film that it will not surprise you in the least. Some may find that entertaining, but combining overly familiar plot devices with out-of-left-field shifts in tone is more aggravating than enjoyable. Written by Matthew Kennedy, the scribe of the upcoming Frank Grillo horror film Werewolves, and the Lily Collins and Simon Pegg thriller Inheritance, Canary Black has every conceivable genre cliché. Director Pierre Morel, who has made a career out of European-centric action flicks like Taken and Peppermint, does not even raise the temperature of the action to a point where anyone in the film boasts energy appropriate for the material. The limited scale of this European production delivers a cool yet brief sequence involving Kate Beckinsale hanging from a drone in midair. Still, beyond that, the production is relegated to dark rooms and basements that all look the same after a while. It also doesn't help that Beckinsale has to spout some truly horrid dialogue that is meant to sound like quippy banter but comes across as wooden and artificial, further giving Canary Black the feel of a cheaper production masked by a famous lead. Committing the ultimate sin of being forgettable, Canary Black is too inoffensive to even distinguish itself from every other movie available at the press of a button. Kate Beckinsale still has the chops to handle a lead role in an action movie, but she deserves better than this. Pierre Morel, as a director, has no opportunity to put any sort of a stamp on Canary Black, which leaves the movie looking bland. Do yourself a favor and skip this one, unless you are looking for a movie that reuses the same insult of calling a strong female protagonist a bitch over and over again as she tries to save the world. Canary Black Review Roundup. Kate Beckinsale's new spy thriller divides. Kate Beckinsale's new film Canary Black was released on Prime Video on October 24, and it is already receiving mixed reviews. The film follows CIA operative Avery Graves, Beckinsale, whom terrorists have blackmailed into betraying her country so she can save her kidnapped husband. The synopsis continues. Cut off from her team, she turns to her underworld contacts to help locate the coveted intelligence that the kidnappers want. As she is betrayed at every turn, Avery finds herself in a deadly race to deliver a ransom that could trigger a global crisis. Directed by Pierre Morel, the filmmaker best known for the action-packed Taken and From Paris with Love, Canary Black marks Beckinsale's latest entry into the spy thriller genre. Despite the actor's dedication to the role, critics seem split on whether the film lives up to its potential. Newsweek has emailed spokespeople for Beckinsale and Prime Video for comment on Friday, outside of normal business hours. Kate Beckinsale attends the Vanity Fair and Lancôme Women in Hollywood celebration at Soho House on February 6, 2020, in West Hollywood, California. Her new film, Canary Black, is receiving mixed reviews online. According to The Wrap, the movie falls short, with critic William Bibbiani describing it as neither thrilling nor dramatic enough to qualify as entertainment. He likened the experience to a fast food order gone wrong, suggesting that viewers looking for anything beyond baseline action may feel let down. Pressing play on an action movie like Canary Black is like ordering at McDonald's. You've already agreed to lower your standards, so you don't get to complain that it's ultra-processed junk food. That's what you signed up for. You were in the mood for middle-of-the-road comfort sustenance, and that's all you have any right to expect, Bibbiani wrote. But we've all been to a fast food joint where, yes, you technically got what you paid for, but it was so greasy you could barely eat it. Or it got squashed for no discernible reason. Or it's got a hair in it. Sure, you ordered off the dollar menu, but even the dollar menu makes a few meager promises, and if they can't even get that right, well, you have Canary Black. Despite his criticism of the film's predictable plot and lackluster action scenes, Bibbiani added that Beckinsale remains a standout as a reliable action star for decades, even when her movies can't keep up with her. But we've all been to a fast food joint where, yes, you technically got what you paid for, but it was so greasy you could barely eat it. Or it got squashed for no discernible reason. Or it's got a hair in it. Sure, you ordered off the dollar menu, but even the dollar menu makes a few meager promises, and if they can't even get that right, well, you have Canary Black. Despite his criticism of the film's predictable plot and lackluster action scenes, Bibbiani added that Beckinsale remains a standout as a reliable action star for decades, even when her movies can't keep up with her. Nada Shofa added that Canary Black starts off slowly, with a lackluster opening fight scene that could set poor expectations, and Beckinsale's wig only contributes to setting a low bar. However, Nada Shofa said the action improves as the film goes on, but the dialogue can be confusing, which could lose some viewers along the way. The action only started to pick up after Graves started to look for the Canary Black. A personal favorite fighting scene is when Graves beats up a CIA prisoner to look for the Canary Black, which one might expect to look like a mini chip hidden inside the inmate's fake tooth. The rest of the action is okay. Some actually pump your adrenaline, while others are simply just there for the plot, the review reads. Public reviews of the film on Google show a range of reactions, from enthusiastic praise to harsh criticism, underscoring the film's divisive impact. At the time of writing, 79% of reviewers liked the film. Positive feedback highlights the film's thrills and Beckinsale's performance, with one viewer writing, "Loved this thriller from start to finish, great cast too. I hope there will be a sequel with Kate Beckinsale, as well as Rupert Friend. Late Beckinsale is great in the movie, full of action, drama, and suspense. Love the movie," said another. A different review was more mixed, with the person posting, "Ha ha ha. If you're up for a lighthearted B-spy movie and don't take it too seriously, it's an excellent background to doing homework. Also, I don't think it was intended to, but it's pretty funny. Yeah, it's bad like Days of Our Lives meet Team America, but it's good for and giggles. Get ready for lots of cheese." There were also a variety of negative reviews, with one person saying the film is lacking in many areas, do not recommend. Horrible movie, the acting was abysmal, glaring flaws in the production, and they just couldn't help themselves and had to insert the usual woke one-liners. Don't waste your time on this. It's an epic waste of time. Someone else wrote. Another person added, "This is a movie that requires you to lower every expectation of an action movie. It's almost like the CIA is scratching the bottom of the propaganda barrel." Distributed by Amazon MGM Studios. Release date October 24th, 2024. Running time 101 minutes. Countries United Kingdom, United States, Croatia, language English. So guys, this is the review of Canary Black movie and some information about it. How do you like our today's video? Please let us know by commenting, and if you like this video, please like it, share it, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching.